Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today. Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. We got a beer here that was sent down to me by Joe. This is Tuckerman Brewing 6288 Stout, and they're out of Conway, New Hampshire. So getting into a few more of the New England beers that my so gracious subs are sending down to me. I cannot get these beers here in Virginia, and I love reviewing new beers, as you guys know, with over 1,750 reviews now. A lot of these beers are sent to me by my world's best subscribers, and I enjoy reviewing these beers. I really do. When I get a beer mail package, guys, it's like Christmas here. Whether it's a great beer or a so-so beer or whatever, these guys are spending their hard-earned money to buy these beers, and then shipping beers is very costly. I mean, a lot of times, depending on how many you're shipping and what size box it is, sometimes, a lot of times, the shipping costs more than the beers that's in the package. So, very pricey thing to do, and I do appreciate it from all my great subs sending me these beers. I feel honored and blessed that I have such great subs that send me all these wonderful beers. So let's see what this one brings today, guys. Joe, once again, thank you, brother, for sending the beer mail package you did. Let's see what this one is all about. It says here it is a 6%er. I do not have the IBUs listed. On the bottle here it says Tuckerman Brewery. With the dense fog, bitter cold, brutal winds, and heavy snow, 6288 foot Mount Washington. So this beer is named after Mount Washington. Has earned the reputation of the world's worst weather. In 1934, the Mount Washington Observatory registered a wind gust of 231 miles an hour. Now that'll blow your hair back. Might even blow your socks off too. One of the highest ever recorded. To honor this legendary institution, Tuckerman's Brewing Company donates a portion of the proceeds from the sale of the 6288 Stout to the Mount Washington Observatory. Very nice. Very commendable there. We invite you to visit the brewery. Please call. It has a number here, or the latest tour schedule. Enjoy. This beer is bottle conditioned for best results, store upright. And let's see if it has, it doesn't have the ABV on here, guys, not that I see. It says malt, hops, water, yeast, and water, which is basically your main four ingredients for beer. I mean, a lot of people add a lot of different things, artificial colorings, flavorings, and do a lot of different stuff to beers. So the craft brewers nowadays just go out of the box and do all kind of crazy stuff now. Does not have the IBUs, does not have the ABV, and I don't think it's got any kind of dating on the bottle. So kind of keeping us in the dark on that, just like the beer, a dark beer. So would like to see them put some more information on here to let us consumers know how big a beer we're drinking, what the bittering units is on it, and when it was put in the bottle. I would like to see the month and the day on this type of beer, so we know if it's January of 2015 or December of 2014 or exactly where. Being a 6%er, you wouldn't want to sell this for 20 years, guys. It is not going to sell well being that low of an ABV. Probably going to keep 3 to 5 years, but I don't think I'd want to sell her a 6% stout longer than 5 years. Just my opinion, though. I probably wouldn't want to sell her this longer than 3 years, bring that low of an ABV. Probably would want to drink it within the first year anyway. That's the way I feel about these low ABV stouts. So. Well, let's get on with this one. Like I said, the food pairing for this beer being a stout. It says here, and being a stout, it's going to go well with these chocolate dishes, guys. It says cuisine is barbecue, the cheese is buttered brie, gouda, Havarti, Swiss. Your earthy cheeses, Camembert, Fontina. And the meat for this is beef, shellfish, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. Glassware, pint, becker, nonic, tumbler, mug, stein, and sidel. I'm going to use a double glass for this, guys. I like to use either the Sovereign beer glass or the double glass here lately because of the shape of these glasses. Enhance the aromas a little bit, especially when I'm doing the beer reviews. I do still use a pint glass when I drink my everyday go-to beers, but when I do the beer reviews, I like these two glasses because it enhances the aromas. And that's what it's all about when I'm here telling you what I'm smelling and tasting. So, it's not recommended for extended cellaring here, guys. So like I said, wouldn't want to sell this beer very long. Year or two, 3 maximum. But my personal opinion, I would try to do this in the first year that you picked it up. Not having a date on it. And we'll look, it's got a lot of condensation on the bottle. I just took it out of the fridge. And we'll look a little closer when we come back for the final chug, just to make sure there's nothing digitized in black that I can't see with the beer in the bottle. But not seeing anything written in yellow or white on the bottle or on the label to give me an inclination of when it was. And real quickly, I will go over to the beer list that tells me where these guys date their stuff. And I got a feeling Tuckerman's not even going to be listed. It may be that small of a brewery. Here we go. We're in the P's, R, S, T. Tuckerman Brewing uses a best before date, which is notched on the label. Also, the cases are stamped with a when ready date for the warehouse. So it says the best before date is notched on the label. So let's take another look. I don't see it on this one, guys. So if it's notched, and I'm familiar with the notch labels. Sam Adams used to do that. Whether they still do or not, I don't know. Terrapin used to do that on some of their stuff. But I'm not seeing any kind of notch label on this beer. So, horse hockey. But anyway, let's get on with this one. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. I'll give you all the food pairings of 6%er. Actually, it says Right Beer says it's 6%, and Beer Advocate says it's 6.3%. But not having it on the bottle, it's a 6%er somewhere in that vicinity, guys. So let's get the top off of this. Very unique cap. It's not a plain Jane cap. It does have Tuckerman's written on it. Brewed in Conway, New Hampshire. I will be saving that and putting it on the fridge downstairs, since I don't have anything from Tuckerman yet. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Let's put this down here out of the way and get this one into the glass. Alright, got a little aggressive on the back end of that pour just to generate a little bit of head there, and it did. Not quite 2 fingers of head on that pour. Over into the light. This particular glass doesn't have a lot of small area like my Sovereign beer glass does, where I can a lot of times look through the thin part of the glass. It looks pretty dark, guys. I'm not seeing a lot of light through this particular glass. So it looks pitch black, very opaque. Good looking stout though. Kind of thin, tight bubbles around the sides, and very creamy looking, off-colored, khaki-colored head on top. Let's get a nose on this one. Roasted malt, maybe just a slight hint of some toffee or caramel in there. To me, on the nose, it smells a lot like an English style. Very light. Not a heavy chocolatey or coffee smell. Well, it's that time. Let's give it a taste. Thank you, Joe. I do appreciate it. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Joe. Very thin for a stout. Roasted malt, slight hints of caramel and toffee. Ever so slightly hint of some coffee maybe in there. Not getting a lot of chocolate or anything on this beer. Very thin mouthfeel on this, guys. Little bit on the watery side. Very much reminiscent to me of an English style porter or a low ABV English stout. Maybe a nice transitional stout, if you will, if you want to get into something a little darker. But not comparative to a lot of the American stouts that are out there and available. That's a little bit heavier on the chocolate and the coffee, and maybe some darker fruits. To me, it's, like I said, it's more of a transitional English style porter stout, porter slash stout style to me, with the mouthfeel that I'm getting on this. But it's right out of the fridge. Let's let it warm up a little bit, let her taste it, and we'll come back and do the final chug. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Sitting on it probably about 30-35 minutes or so. The other half liked it a little more than I did. To me, it's got more of a porter quality than a stout. It doesn't have that chocolatey, dark fruity coffee taste that I've grown to expect from the heavier, thicker, more pungent stouts. To me, it's kind of one-dimensional. Very much reminiscent of an English stout to me, or an English porter to me, even though it's kind of dark. It's got the color of a nice stout, but it's just a little on the thin side, a little on the watery side, and very one-dimensional to me. And looking through the glass, I can see through the beer, so it's got that red ruby color. If I had it in the solid beer glass, I'm sure through the bottom part here, it would have that red garnet color, red ruby color, instead of that thick, oily, and I use this quite a bit, that used motor oil, thick, black looking taste and smell and appearance. So, final chug. Thin, a little on the watery side. I am getting the roasted malt. Not a lot of coffee, not a lot of chocolate. No dark fruits. A little on the thin side. Like I said earlier, if you were trying to get into this style of beer, you might want to try something like this before you move into something a little thicker, bigger ABV, a little more than your palate may be able to adjust to right off the bat. This would be a good transitional beer to get in. And to me, guys, it tastes more like a porter than it does a stout. Very light. Something you may be able to drink for lunch or dinner and then go back to work. But being a 6%er, that's a little on the heavier ABV than you would probably want to drink it, then go back, especially if you're operating machinery or doing anything that requires all of your wits about you, especially something in my trade, being a cabinet maker, running saws and routers and stuff. You don't want to lose any fingers or do anything that's going to hurt anybody. But it's a nice beer, but definitely not to the A category in my opinion, guys. Very one-dimensional. And I'm going to grade it accordingly. I think, and especially, I looked at the bottle when I came back, and there is no dating on it whatsoever. Not a month or a year. We don't need a day on this style of beer, but I would like to see a month and a year, so we'll know whether it was done beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, and the year. So we'll know how old the beer is when you're buying it. And according to the site, it should have some kind of dating on the side of the label here, some kind of notches or something, and this beer does not. So, as much as I appreciate Joe sending this down to me, it was very unimpressive for a stout. I don't think I would, if it was available here, that I would purchase this beer again. I do appreciate him sending it to me. Let me try it, but it doesn't live up to the stout qualities in my opinion. So, guys, I'm gonna give this a 5. I think it's a B minus, and it's very close to being a 4, which is a C. It is, and the only reason I'm not giving it a 4 is because it's a 6%er. I'm not getting into that alcohol taste. So I do think it's well made, but it's a little on the thinner side. More of an English style to me than an American style, and to me, it's more of an English style porter than an English style stout. So a little on the lighter side, a little on the thin side, a little on the watery side. So that's where I'm going to leave it. We'll go over to Beer Advocate. They say 83 in the good range. I think that is an impressive number for this beer. I would not step up to that. If I was giving it a numeric rating, it would probably be a 77, 76 or a 77, somewhere in that area. Not even up to the solid B, B minus to me. So. And over to Rate Beer is not even as generous as I am. They say it's 57 overall and 39 in the style. I don't think it fits the style either. There are a lot of beers, and a lot of that, and the style numbers are based on ratings and what everybody else is for the style of beer, what it is. To me, it's not to the stout category. It's more of a porter, and an English style on top of that, which is very subdued, very light, a little on the thinner side. So, but I am glad I got to try it. So, Joe, thanks again for sending me this one from Tuckerman Brewing, and like I told you guys, they're out of Conway, New Hampshire. I cannot get this beer here. And like I said, after tasting it, I would probably, even if I could get it here, I would probably not buy it again because there are a lot tastier beers out there. But I am glad I got to try it. So with that being said, if you've had this one from Tuckerman's, this is their 6288 Stout, and I do applaud them for donating some of their proceeds to the observatory there at Mount Washington. I think that is very admirable. So we're going to leave it at that, guys. So if you've had it, let me know what you think of it, guys. And as always, come on back tomorrow. Let's go see what's in the fridge. Yeah. See you then.